It'll be nice.
Bless you.
So what's the question?
Yo, Peter. Yo, Peter and Mike, get out.
Yeah, what's
Peter
the
and Mike.
question? Hey,
Yo, we gotta quarantine
I
ourselves.
had something
Get him a
so-
bubble. Get him a bubble.
What's the question from my friend from Qatar? What's the question?
Oh boy.
What's the question?
Oh man.
Yo, I'm talking to you.
Don't say it.
You missing?
I need a tissue. Jesus, Pete, thank you. I need an umbrella, hey.
We need bubbles. Like, we each get our own bubble.
What's the question? What was? Oh my God.
We're watching Zlatan's miss
Is he
over
gonna say the question?
He said he's got a seat ready for you.
Beautiful.
By the way. So we'll start off. We're gonna move into our podcast. We've been watching the AC Milan game. Obviously, if you're listening to this is the start of our little podcast. We're gonna go over the first round of the Serie A matches. We're doing live streams each day for the biggest Serie A matches. We went live for the Juventus game, and we were live today for Milan against Bologna. There's obviously a lot to talk about. We're excited that the Serie A has returned. It's great times. We didn't have to wait too long, which is beautiful. And the season, although we did not get to watch Inter and Atalanta play, two of the teams that we're going to be keeping an eye on, we did have the official start to the Serie A. Mike, why don't you pull up a chair and let's I would squeeze in over.
Should we turn the table 90 or what?
That's good.
So we'll start with the Milan match. Obviously, we've got the biggest AC Milan fan in the world with us right here.
You got that
in
right.
the world.
In the galaxy. Jealous.
In the galaxy.
They're jealous.
Milan, thanks to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, put in 2 goals against Bologna, giving the first 3 points of the year. I missed most of the first half and some of the second half, but I want to know, Anto, how do you feel about the season, which obviously expectations are higher with some good signings, with some youths coming into the squad? What did you make of the game and of the season?
I thought that we picked up exactly where we left from last year because the formation has not changed except for Mike. Well, like Mike said, Gabbia. Okay, so Gabbia was the only exception that we saw on the formation this morning. But I mean, this afternoon, and they're looking good. I mean, I see a lot of fluidity still on the 3 offensive players. The offensive game of AC Milan is the best thing so far that I have seen. Defensively, they're still guessing around a little bit. Again, the midfield very solid, but I still wanted to see Tonali plugged in and just finding a niche for himself because I think Benacer and Kessie, they are solid right there on the back. Maybe Tonali can be more of an offensive player and just play slightly behind Ibra.
Of course, we saw they're picking off where they left off because Milan finished their season in incredible fashion. It was really, I think, one of the best teams, if not the best team in Serie A by the end of the season. So keeping things the way that they should have been. And then obviously we saw Tonali was put in around the 76th, 77th minute just to get his touch on the ball, which is obviously extremely normal for a lot of the new teams that come in. You know, a lot of coaches, they like to integrate them and see how things are.
I feel so high and tall. I feel amazing right now.
So the two of them sneezing around on top.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
Oh yeah, you're not sick. You're a sick puppy.
This guy might be sick.
You're-
Frankie boy.
Yo, I wanted to
think that
finish
Milan
up.
will
No, I
continue?
wanted to finish
Yeah.
up a couple of things. So,
Yes.
what I seen on AC Milan, I think the speed on the game has increased slightly.
Okay.
And attacking, boom, 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 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. They let the ball run so much.
What do you credit that to? Having more time to play together?
No, it's just
Pioli?
No, what Pioli? The young kids, they've been told by Ibra, I want to see that you leave everything right here on the floor. Okay? When the game is over, you can slow down. Until then, everything has to be. It's like the last 5 minutes of your life. I wanted you to run and just get it out of your system. And so that's what I see Milan. The running game is unbelievable. They are fast. They are into the money. Right now, some precision is still missing on some of the passes and some of the schemes. But that's going to come with the time. So
this was all part of the plan and the strategy for, obviously, the AC Milan management to keep Pioli, keep things the same way, not get Ragni, keep Maldini in charge of everything that was there. And we're seeing, obviously, it's the first game, but the continuation from the last season as things start to get better. Was there anything else you noticed? I know Donnarumma also made...
Salemaker is very impressive again. He just comes in for who? For Kessie? No, not Kessie. For
Castillejos.
Castillejo, you're right. So very impressive.
He told me I was right.
I actually like this kid here to be a starter. Okay, I like him a lot better. Castillejo is not that, doesn't have the quality on his feet yet. But this kid has got speed. He can defend too. And he's got a lot of juice on his legs. So this guy can pay a lot of dividends for us. He sounds like, he kind of, I don't want to stick my neck out.
Yes.
Oh boy.
But
Get ready for this one.
Okay.
What does it sound like?
But it will be
Maradona.
maybe a little step behind what Napoli has signed.
Oshiman?
What?
Right.
I don't know about that, Anto.
I mean, it's not a forward,
Different
but
position.
it's not a forward, but he's got speed. Just that it will be equivalent to Oshiman.
We have a donation from Gio who says, Antonio, how much do you think Theo Hernandez is worth? He says he's 80 million.
A lot of money. 80 million?
He says
Well,
80
I'll tell you what. 80, yeah, between, tell hey, Gio, by the way.
You're speaking to him right now.
Gio.
He hears you.
He's worth more than, couple players that they play forward for Inter. One is called, don't make me say it, can you just type it for me? Oh, Gio, by the way, I was looking at the computer instead of looking at you.
He always has to. He always tie Inter into
What,
this.
how much do you think he's worth?
Well, I would say I would put 100 million.
Whoa,
right now.
what the? He's a defender.
So what?
Why can't I don't know why can't a defender be 100 million?
Because
$100 million.
They're not
$100 million.
worth as much as attackers.
$100
A
million.
defender's not worth as much as a
Hands
attacker?
down.
In terms of
What was
the
Van
market.
Dijk worth to Liverpool
Hands
when
down
they signed him?
is $100 million.
You said defender can't be
You're
worth
not a football
100
agent.
million.
No.
Actually, I would
A def-
say even slightly more. I will take Lautaro and I will take the other guy
What are you
together.
two talking about, Ether?
No, I will take both of
You
them.
fantasize about Inter.
He's not worth 100 million, Anto.
I'm not saying he's worth 100 million, but I don't agree with you that a defender can't be worth 100
I'm
million.
not saying they can be.
You
I
just said he's a
they're-
defender, he's
yeah,
not
as a
100
defender,
million.
They're not worth as much.
See
as
what
the
happened when they're
absolutely
jealous?
not.
Those guys, they're
Absolutely
jealous.
not.
They don't have it. That's the
60
problem.
60 million.
We got him. We got AC
60 million.
Milan's
Look at
got him,
history.
and
Yeah,
that's
history.
it.
Over
Van
50.
Dijk was what, 90?
Over 50.
Van Dijk. What are we gonna do with Van Dijk?
I didn't say you. I'm just
We're
saying that
comparing
the
the
price
Van Dijk
was
cannot even shine the bottom of the
Maguire
shoes
was
of Theo
94.
Hernandez. 94? Oh my God.
94 million.
Maguire.
Maguire. Okay. See, that
Oh,
one.
yeah,
I didn't even
Maguire.
know this guy. Never seen playing. Did he?
He's on
Don't tell
Man U.
Ryan that.
Oh, is that menu?
Sucks.
Yeah.
Van
No
Dijk
wonder
was-
why they lost 3-1.
Exactly.
I
Okay.
don't know, they spent so much.
Miguel Rico said, Antonio, you should show credit to Pioli. He's done a really good job for this team.
Well, let's not go that far. I mean,
You don't like giving him credit,
listen to
huh?
me. Anybody that is been plugged in instead of at expense of Gianpaolo, I think he's doing a great job. Okay, so not to say that Pioli is a great coach, but at least he's been plugged in and to stop the bleeding. Okay, and so far, I think with the guidance of Maldini right from the top over there, he's been playing the squad that we have a little better. So, but this Gianpaolo, what did he do by the way last week? Gianpaolo, they lost right against who?
Fiorentina.
Oh, is it-
Fiorentina 1-0. Torino.
Oh, it's boy. I see Torino just sliding down to Serie B this year. I'm sorry.
No.
Listen, keep Gianpaolo for another 6 months. You're gonna find yourself fighting for a Serie B.
We'll move on to Juventus' match against Sampdoria. Andrea Pirlo's first match as Juventus coach. First match as a coach. He just submitted his thesis last week and officially was declared and announced a coach. 3-0 win against Sampdoria, and I don't think it gets much more perfect than that. We should say that Sampdoria was not a great side. They did not play good at all with our boy Ranieri. But Juventus came out there, in my opinion, with the correct spirit, the right attitude, the right energy, the right ideas, in a very strange formation, a 3-5-2 with Danilo as one of the center backs. We also saw Kulusevski and Ronaldo leading the line, them two together. On the left side, where Alexandro got hurt, we all assumed, and it was Sky and everybody was saying, oh, it's going to be De Sciglio as a left wing back, which you would assume since he's the only other guy in the left wing back position with Pellegrini on the move from Juventus. And he put in this kid Frabotta, who was apparently training well according to Pirlo. He said, I had no risk putting this guy in. I had no fear putting him in because I'm watching him in training and I know what he's doing. But really a fantastic match from Juventus. And the thing that I would say, Kulusevski started his Juventus career with a great, fantastic finish, bottom left corner, great instinct for him. Bonucci cleaned it up from a shot from McKennie. And then Ronaldo got his goal. Ronaldo was very off. But what I would say is, for the past few years from Juventus, the reason why they moved away from Allegri, the reason why Maurizio Sarri was sacked, was there was a lack of identity and enthusiasm around this team. That's some of the words that have been spoken about a lot. And that's one thing that they brought Pirlo in for, to understand this Juventus DNA. And I think that obviously it's a first match. You don't want to go too crazy. It's you have to keep a level head. But we're talking about the first round of matches, so we have to say what's at our disposal. And for the first time since Conte took over at Juventus, me as a fan, I'm excited. Last year, it's the first match. I'm just saying.
This guy here, one of the biggest doubter about Pirlo, but the three of you. Now, all of a sudden, you're very excited.
Can I explain?
Okay, go ahead. When you're taking it, you hanging around with Mike too long. You're flipping yourself.
Let me ask you a question. If I have an opinion on something, right?
Yeah.
And then I see what happens, and I'm like, wow, I was wrong about my initial opinion. Isn't it better for me to admit saying, wow, that thing is actually really good?
So were you wrong, yes or not?
I never said that
Say
Pirlo was not going to be
wrong. Say that you're wrong.
We will say it at the end of the season.
I was right from day one. I was always right.
You would be right at day one. 37 matches from now, we will determine if he was right or wrong. I don't want to steal the conversation because it's not supposed to be steered yet.
Okay.
What I was saying was, for the first time, there is an excitement around this team where the team feels like they understand what it means to play for Juventus. Again, first match, but the ideas were there. And Pirlo took a risk putting in certain players, and of course you could get away with the risk against Sampdoria, but still you have to put your 11 out there, and you need to take home the win. Great first match for Juventus. It brought back the signs of Conte. When he started, Juventus beat Parma 4-1, and that game, there was so much enthusiasm around that team. This really gives me the signs of that.
Let me ask you something. Why is it a risk to put a player that you never heard about it? Why is it a risk? Why is it a risk?
Because from the
he
fans,
took a risk. What risk?
Because from the fans' perspective, we're not at training every day, and we don't know these players and how they train. So for us, on the outside, it seems like a risk.
You're watching too many cartoons. First of all,
told Ryan that
it's not a risk. You're not risking. You're putting a player that knows how to kick the ball around.
Okay, that's fair.
The fact that it's unknown, it's got nothing to do with it. Okay,
we're not saying that he was
bad. This is showing you that it's not only a coach, it's somebody that is scouting and is capable to understand what the player can do or cannot do. So the player is been plugged over there. Pirlo told him, this is what I need you to do. And he probably delivered it for Pirlo. There is no risk.
Well, another
so
guy.
So then did Mihajlovic risk when he put up Donnarumma?
No, absolutely not.
And, Donnarumma was unknown before then.
But it's easy to talk about the ones that work, and then the ones that you don't work, sometimes you forget about.
Let me remind you something. Mihajlovic, that we just saw, coaching Bologna, he put Donnarumma, he plugged into the goalkeeping when he was 16 and change. Okay, Donnarumma was not even 17. So Donnarumma was 16. So why didn't Mihajlovic? So would you agree that Mihajlovic took another risk by doing that? Mihajlovic knew from the very beginning that this is
I agree with you. I'm not saying you're wrong. The only thing I'm saying is, from our perspective, we weren't watching Donnarumma
from
train.
Your perspective,
no,
our
perspective.
No,
because you don't have inside.
You know someone from the inside.
I trust Pirlo 1,000%.
That's fair. Another guy that Pirlo was big on bringing in was McKennie, the American from Texas, who started his first match over Artur and over Bentancur, because Pirlo said that he was better in training, he was better his preseason, he was more fit, and McKennie had a brilliant debut match for Juventus. Really, a lot of enthusiasm in a different league, being a young kid, 21 years old. He brought to the team exactly what Pirlo asked for. So Pirlo outlined very clearly in his thesis and his first press conference, my team must hold possession for as long as possible. But that's rule number one. He said, but rule number two is just as important. Once we lose possession, we need to immediately win it back. The Juventus midfield from last year was too similar. There was not balance in the midfield. McKennie brought to the table the guy that wins the ball back. He goes into those challenges. He made a few tackles that won the ball back immediately after and had the understanding and awareness. Now it's time to lay it off to Ramsey. Now it's time to give it to the creators of the team who are able to do their job. And that's just an important look. It's not to say that the midfield is fixed. It's to say that the ideas are there. And the ideas are making sense, in my opinion, from what I saw. So great debut from them, from Juventus. Obviously, a lot of new players need to come in. Shout out to Kulusevski, who was probably man of the match, I would say, for Juventus.
That's not exaggerating. He scored a beautiful
So who was the best player?
I would say the entire team played very well. There is no best player.
So you don't answer the question.
No, there was no best player.
Kulusevski was very good.
What'd you make about Pirlo's the formation 3-5-2? How they played? Any of that?
Spectacular idea, and I'll tell you what impresses me the most.
Yeah,
Juventus shortened the team by at least 25 to 30 yards. All the team was going up and down like a unit. Everything came up and down like a unit. There was no gaps between the forwards and the midfield was moving perfectly. And what you guys don't understand is that everybody came to take the shots. Danilo was taking shots. Bonucci was on the penalty box all the time. Chiellini was taking shots. Everybody was shooting the ball. And the last thing that I wanted to say about Pirlo, with Pirlo, there is no famous players that they're going to take to the place. They're going to just step into the field and start the game. For Pirlo, if you do very well in training, you start in the game.
That's a fair point.
So all of those big names they're getting paid because they were signed before Pirlo came in for big money. They don't count anymore. So for Pirlo, you can have to show what you can.
They start on a level playing field.
Everybody is on the same playing level field.
Yeah,
okay?
no, I agree.
And that's fair. That's fair.
I think Pirlo play. I was a little skeptical with the 3-5-2. I'm not gonna lie. Especially I saw Frabot on the starting lineup. I was like, oh, they're bringing a Primavera guy in. So I was like, let's see how he does. I was like, but overall, they were actually energetic compared to Sarri's side. These guys were actually hungry to fight. They were attacking. They were pressing. But overall, yeah, great debut for his first ever coaching job, first ever game, and it was against Sampdoria, yeah, you could say. But I feel like even Sarri, maybe he could have struggled. Maybe he would have never won it 3-0 at the end of the day. So definitely a lot of credit to Pirlo. He's one of those people that demands respect as a player that's won it all. But good first star, and we'll see for the rest of the season how he'll continue.
Peter?
Did you watch the game?
Peter? Oh, you didn't
saw
see
it.
it.
I didn't only
We
saw
asked him
That's
like
fair
4
enough.
times.
Well, it was by luck that Juventus only won 3-0 because it could have been easily a 5 or 6.
Ronaldo had 2 goals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ronaldo
it's
missed
just,
maybe
McKennie's
before-
was like
Listen.
a hair.
Aldero saved
Not
it
on.
like millimeters off the
Listen.
line.
Again, we've been talking about they made it. Juventus looked like they were playing easily. A new game. For the first time, I see Juventus playing soccer for an entire year. It was horrible just looking at them. But this is the first game. What does that tell you? Pirlo philosophy is already on the field. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see as it develops, but I definitely agree that it was a great first
it can
step
only
in the right
get
direction.
better. It can only get better.
Okay.
Sampdoria on the
I
other
think
side,
I think
pretty
also
poor.
I think also Pirlo is a man that it was cool. It's funny to see like Pirlo. That's what I was looking at. You had Conte who would scream his eyes off on the sideline. You had Allegri who was demanding, and he would go back and forth. Sarri, he used to take notes. I was very interested to see Pirlo on the sideline. What he does, extremely calm, extremely calm. Says a few things, and sometimes they say like the silent leaders are usually the ones who can command respect because once they speak, you listen. It's not that they're talking all the time.
I see Pirlo and Zidane kind of similar to the body language when they are on the sideline.
It was
Ancelotti
interesting.
too.
It was interesting to see.
Ancelotti from time to time it will. But listen to me again.
But he didn't have too much to scream
This
about.
is going to be spelling high dividends and high fears for the Inter fans. We have an Inter fans by the way over here. So
I wish we could talk about Inter. We'll
so
talk about them on the transfer market.
Inter fans are just hoping that Juventus and some of those top teams, including AC Milan, they're going to start slow
Top
and they're
teams.
and then they're going to just go over there and take everything like I want it all. Isn't that song?
Easy.
What song?
The song. There's a song. I'm going
Sing
to
it,
tell
sing
you
it.
right
How's
now.
it go?
So they want to take everything. So
I
you're
never
going to
heard
have to
that song in my
share.
life.
You're going to have to share some of
What
the
song
points.
is that?
You're going to have to share some
I
of the
never heard
points.
that
And
song. What
they're
song?
pissing me off.
He's catching
What
on.
song?
You're gonna have to share some of the points, Pete. I'm sorry, you're not gonna take all of those
We
points
Are the
with
Champions,
you.
that
Okay?
song?
Yes. Okay. All right,
Great.
so
The
it's-
last thing I want to note about the match, Ramsey was really
Forget about
No,
Ramsey.
Ramsey was
Please.
very
From
good.
last season.
Ramsey played really well. A good first game back for him. An important position, and again, I think that he's in a position more to succeed now. And he always he has a tendency to go up. He's not a physical guy that's going to go in, kind of like Eriksson, very similar to how Eriksson's style would be. That didn't work under Sarri, and now it worked in the first match. So great job by him. We'll see once Dybala comes back, once De Ligt comes back, once Morata, who we'll talk about. Let's go on to the next match. Fiorentina-Torino was an opening match.
Beautiful.
Castrovilli with his new number 10 jersey, he's now the number 10 of Fiorentina,
Maestro.
scored the winner for Fiorentina. They definitely needed all 3 points. We saw Chiesa play as a wing back. What did everybody think about the Fiorentina match?
Listen, first of all, Castrovilli is from.
Bari.
Okay.
The
What is
best
it?
city in the world.
Okay. So,
Bari.
Body?
yeah,
Bari.
it's Barese. So,
Are you sure?
oh yeah, Hey, look.
Hey, positive.
Tonio.
Can you see it?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's your nephew, Anto. You should reach out.
So this guy here has been looking up to Cassano since he was born. So
I don't know about
He
that.
told me the
And
opposite,
yeah,
but
no.
no, he's been looking up to
He
Cassano
directly
since he
told
was
me the
born.
opposite.
Okay, who told you that?
he told me that.
Yeah. He was like, "What's your source?"
Anyway,
He told me
anyway,
Ronaldinho
bunch
was.
of liars. Anyway, so he's been looking up
I
to
have no
Cassano.
reason to lie.
He's been looking up to Cassano from the very beginning, and then he's learning, and I'm sure he's calling him up, and Cassano is giving him even some additional
Some
tricks
pointers,
on
right?
our you cannot treat. Hey, what did we say at the podcast?
You can't
cannot
teach
teach a new
an
tricks
old
to an
dog.
old dog.
Yeah. You can't teach an old
Dog
a
new tricks. Okay, so So Cassano in this case, in this particular situation, is the old dog, but is the old dog is teaching the young dog the new
goat,
tricks.
the old
Okay?
goat.
Don't get confused. Okay, I know your brain is smoking over there, but again, I tip my hat.
I don't think it's my brain that's
I
smoking.
tip my hat to Castrovilli. He happened to be playing for Joe Barone, which is our friends, of course. Joe, we love you, okay? As long as you don't make him score against AC Milan, because that I have a problem with that.
They needed the win.
Yeah, they needed to win.
Peter,
Yeah.
did you catch the match?
I did. I saw that game.
What'd you think?
No, I think at times it was
Fiorentina
sluggish a
deserved
little
it,
bit,
deserved
but I
it.
think Fiorentina was the better team.
Overall.
Gianpaolo's Torino, you saw, hints of
They
what
didn't
he does,
attack, though.
but they didn't do much
Yeah,
with
they
it.
didn't do
But you
anything.
did see the passing,
Adriano.
moving back and forth, kind of like
Ah.
1-2. But it just wasn't enough. Fiorentina, they had more chances. Then also, I liked seeing Borja Valero coming in the second half, later towards the second half, and he kind of orchestrated. And I said, oh, look, now Fiorentina, when they have a chance to win, right, they'll have a player like Borja Valero that can just keep that ball moving, where you also have Ribéry. So you have a good
Was
mix of...
Amrabat playing, by the way? I didn't see the game.
Yes,
No,
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 I'm sorry,
was
I'm
not
sorry.
there.
So you just wait for
Yeah.
it, and once they plug this guy here and this guy is going to play
Forget it.
big,
Pulgar
big
was not there
dividend.
yet.
Yeah, but
Okay.
a lot of their midfield was there.
So-
Also, Sirigu. If Sirigu wasn't
Oh,
in that,
man.
this would have been 4-0. Sirigu is
Listen.
incredible. His reflexes are no
I didn't
joke.
watch the
Yeah.
game.
I think he should go to a bigger team. I
Qua-
think he's good
what was it?
enough.
Kwame had missed a
Kwame
couple
missed
of
like a
shots,
hat
but
trick,
also
to be
Sirigu.
honest.
And
Sirigu
they're
did
still
that
trying to
save off
sign.
the
They're still
thing.
trying to sign a number 9.
Yeah.
Fiorentina. That
Listen.
works.
Sirigu
Belotti,
was
Belotti was flopping all over the place.
Yeah,
too.
but like I said,
He had no support either, though.
Fiorentina
He was
has
the
a
one
flopping all over
good
the
mix of experience and youth.
Well, this is the thing. As I said
I
to
like
you,
that. I agree
didn't
with
I
that.
say? Didn't I put Fiorentina between on the 5th or 6th place?
I think you
or
put him
no?
7.
No, I put him 6.
Wow.
At least 6.
sorry.
I'm not sure. Maybe.
So
I put him
again, not because Joe is my friend, because I know the quality. The quality is right there right now. The only thing we like to steal from Fiorentina is Milenkovic, because we want to take them
And
They need him.
Castrovilli,
to AC
right?
Milan.
They need him.
We need Milenkovic. So Joe, we're gonna give you Paquetá, and then you give us.
Fiorentina can't sell Milenkovic.
They
No,
need something.
They
no.
need to keep him.
Yeah.
They
Why?
need- because
He's-
for the
he's
team,
young,
he's going to be
he's
very
great.
important. And I think that Fiorentina have a lot of possibilities to do well. I agree with what Peter said. I think they brought in guys like Bonaventura, Borja Valero, who not necessarily are great players or fantastic players, but they could
Bonaventura
be
is not a fan. Are you
Role player.
crazy?
Role player.
Great player. Did
good
Bonaventura? Did he play Bonaventura?
Yeah, he
did.
played
He
the
role-
They're good
I'm
players.
saying
They're
role
good players,
player.
but
Yeah.
they'll
He's-
be
Rotation,
important
too.
towards a Fiorentina who needs all of these mixes together. Ribéry was also the captain, so Fiorentina is an exciting team for me. I love teams that dominate in midfield and like to play that kind of football. So we didn't see it yet, but we will see it. So great job by them. Roma.
Wait. Can I, before we finish up with Fiorentina, Joe, if you're listening to this podcast, please, I want to meet Bonaventura. So any chance that you have, if I come to Florence, I'm going to call you. Please introduce me to him, because he was my favorite player on AC Milan. And now that at least he joined you guys, I'll be very happy. I hope he pays dividend for you guys. Anything that, as long as it's not against AC Milan, I just wish you guys even to take second place
Also, do
behind
you
us.
think Chiesa as wing back? Do you guys like him there, or you think he's going to change? I don't think that's his position. He's not effective over
He's
there.
not a forward.
But he's not a forward, but he's not a wing back either.
But listen, I think Chiesa,
So
you
what do you
should.
think he should go?
In a 3-5-2.
Yeah,
Chiesa-
I mean, he can't go anywhere else. you
I
know
think
what I'm saying?
Chiesa should get it with his head just to focus on Fiorentina and only Fiorentina,
I know.
because I think
I know, we're talking about
he has to
formation,
show what he's capable to do. If he's really worth that kind of money, show me what you're capable to do. Have a great season
gotta
with
plug him in the
Fiorentina,
right
score
spot.
20 goals, and then we'll talk about transfer, okay? Until then, maybe they should be resigning, extend his contract for another year, see what he can do for Fiorentina, and then if he wants to stay, let him stay. If he wants to leave, let him go.
Elas Verona drew 0-0 with Roma. By the way, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to the people that were sending donations during while we were talking. Cardi says, I think Antonio's secretly a Juventino.
No way,
And
no
we
way.
have,
I love
Preciado.
Juventus, not because I like them, because I like Pirlo, number one, and because I want them to still destroy the dreams of Inter.
Preciado.
This is the only reasons why.
Preciado said, great work, guys. Antonio is the man. Milan forever.
You
Stop
got
it-
it.
stop
You got
encouraging Anto,
it.
stop
Guys,
encouraging.
any AC Milan, please donate. We need donation. Okay?
All right, 1 second. All right, let's keep going. You can mute it.
You can mute it.
Mute it. Okay.
Press the-
There we go. 0-0 Roma against Elas Verona. Dzeko was left on the bench for the entire match as he
Yeah.
was expected to make the move towards Juventus. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. I want to just keep it about the matches. Mike, you watched this match. What did you think about it?
Of the Roma Elas Verona,
That's what we're talking about.
I think I was just confirming.
What do you think we're talking about, Juventus?
Overall, I thought I thought Roma. First of all, Zaniolo. We know Zaniolo's injured. Dzeko didn't go because apparently Dzeko was supposed to go over there. And I think the biggest thing with Roma really they look lackluster. They need a number 9. They weren't creating any chances. I mean, they have Mkhitaryan up there. Sorry, they have Pedro up there, and I just feel like, I don't know, they don't have that cutting edge player that's gonna go. And they didn't have a number 9 on the field. They don't have, even if say Dzeko gets injured, they don't have a number 9 over there. And especially Zaniolo's gonna be out for what, 6-7 months. You know, they gotta buy a couple players in the mercato, or Roma's gonna be in trouble.
Do you have anybody in Greece that you can plug in Roma?
Well,
by the way, Nicola Cirincione is watching the live stream. He texted me a couple of times. I said, Nicola Cirincione, my friend, our friend actually.
Boy.
So Nicola, I'm sorry I couldn't pick up the phone before or the texting, but those guys are keeping me too busy. So, but keep following the podcast. Swipe up, right? Yeah. Swipe up.
Let's keep going.
And
Roma,
comment, and just send us any comment.
While we would not say that 0-0 is a positive result for Roma, I think at this point they would really hope that it would be, because they're at risk of losing the match 3-0, actually, off of a technical irregularity. Gazzetta dello Sport is saying that Diawara was registered still for the U22 team, 21 team. 22 or 21? 22, under 21 team. 22.
Oh, brother.
22.
21.
And they might lose the match 3-0. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but there are rumors that because of this, they can lose the match 3-0. We'll keep you updated on our social medias.
Like a default.
I have not seen it been official yet.
I don't get the rules.
Before the season, you're supposed to give a roster of 25 players, and then you can put some of these players as an under 21 team. So Diawara last year would have been part of that list, and this year he's no longer part of that list. Only 1998s and younger would be part. God. So because of this technical rule, Roma can lose 3-0 at Tavolino, right? But Roma can also challenge that.
Right?
And that's why I'm not saying anything happened yet. But this is what they're talking about. Gazzetta is saying that they risk doing that, so we'll keep you updated on if it happens or not. And I think, well, we'll talk about Roma's mistakes afterwards. Napoli won 2-0 against Parma, newly owned Parma, owned by Kraus, who's an Italian-American from Iowa. A lot of enthusiasm around there. Obviously, playing the first match against Napoli is never easy. You're playing against a great team. Mertens on the score sheet. And who was other? Insigne.
What makes it even tougher, Marco,
was
Kulusevski, who went to Juve, and Gervinho wasn't there. So two of their, I would say, key players of the season were not there. So it was very tough. Yeah, especially when you have Napoli players like Petagna coming in, Oshiman there, Dries Mertens, Insigne.
Don't forget, Osman came only 20 minutes before the end of the game.
And I think he helped. I think he added the assist.
That guy will have destroyed.
He was creating a lot of chances for Roma.
I felt like the match started changing when he came in. When Oshiman came in,
immediately.
There was some sort of sparky. You know, he's a fast guy.
He draws a lot of defenders too.
He brings a lot of energy to the team and a lot of runs, so I think that he'll be important. We also saw Manolas Koulibaly.
Yeah, they actually look pretty solid. Look, I don't want to say anything, but they actually look pretty solid as a partnership. They didn't make any stupid mistakes, it's only one game in, but let's see how it continues. So.
Yeah, for them, important. Obviously, again, like I said, for Parma, very difficult opening match. Sorry to the new owners, but I think it more so had to be expected when you're playing against Napoli. And I'm excited to see them under Gattuso this year. I think a lot of people are rating them very out of the race, Napoli, where they do have some exciting players that could prosper. I think they got to fix their midfield a little bit. It's a little all over the place at times. But besides that, if their defense and they could build off the defense, and I want to start seeing Meret back into the starting 11 and not Ospina. I'm very adamant on that.
I don't think that's.
I didn't say it's a big. It's not the biggest problem. I'm just saying that I want to see Meret back, and I don't want to see Ospina because I think Meret is a better goalkeeper, and I think he's the future. And you're gonna risk losing a guy like that.
The future, yeah, for sure.
So I would bet on Meret. That's my opinion. That's where I think. I understand that Gattuso doesn't feel the same way, but I would like to see Meret, as time goes on for Napoli, be the guy that plays there. Other matches, Genoa won 4-1. Genoa's on top of the Serie A table, technically.
This was probably one of the most exciting matches. I don't know if you guys saw. Genoa scored in like 2 goals in 9 minutes. Crotone looked hard. They look like a Serie A cheese squad. They were I'm not. Did you see the match? No. That's why. Yeah. They look really bad. Genoa just got the job done. They could have scored much more.
Mike Sassuolo, Cagliari.
That was another good match. Two Greeks
the 30-second rundown.
Two Greeks playing. Unfortunately, not. Maybe next time.
So sorry
they love backs.
Anything significant that we need to know?
Cagliari actually played very well. This is Di Francesco's new team. He's finally a coach since leaving Roma, since getting sacked from Roma. So I'm very happy to see him there.
Anything significant?
No, I don't think anything
Nice free kick goal,
significant. Burabia at the end, I think like 85th minute.
So what was the final score? 1-1?
1-1.
Oh.
But Cagliari played the better game, surprisingly, because you would think Sassuolo from last season star. Boga wasn't there, so they also had some players out.
It's not Boga, it's Boga.
Boga, I think.
Boga.
Let's move on to the transfer market real quick, because there's so much drama, and I gotta say these guys are killing us with the amount of graphics that we need to make, because nobody can make up their damn mind. We'll start off with Juventus because it's the most complicated of the sorts. The last time we recorded a podcast, we had said that Luis Suarez was out from becoming the player for Juventus. I told Michael that it's not going to happen, and we were saying that Dzeko was the guy coming. Start of the week, Edin Dzeko favored to join Juventus. They say, okay, he's going to be on the bench. Milik just needs to sort all of his problems. Milik passes his medicals, which was the big concern, considering all of the ACL tears that he's had. We think that's it. It's done. Dzeko's going to Juventus. Complications with Milik to Roma. They say...
But what kind of complication?
Over demands on money and some technical stuff for Milik. Listen. So the reports say Juventus are not going to wait for Milik to agree with Roma. They are going to try to agree with Dzeko, offer more money. Raise their offer to 17 million. We think now it's done. We're waiting for him to land in Torino. It doesn't stop there. Continue, more problems. Now they're saying Juventus is going after Giroud because they can't get Edin Dzeko. A day later, they say, okay, it's all done. Dzeko is going to go to Juventus last night. We wake up this morning, and Morata is becoming the new number 9. He's on his way to Torino right now. After all this merry-go-round from Luis Suarez, and I forgot somebody. Started in Milik, Luis Suarez, Dzeko, Giroud, Moiskin, Dzeko, Morata. Morata will be joining Juventus on a 9 million euro loan with 45 million option to buy, but there is also another option to extend the loan past 1 year, so it could go to a 2-year loan, and he will be the new number 9 that has been demanded by Andrea Pirlo. A return to Torino for Morata, who I just want to remind everybody, Morata has been a very good player for Juventus in the past. I believe he still holds the record for most consecutive Champions League goals, which is 5 in a row, along with Del Piero. Always a player that turned up in big matches for Juventus. Lacked in the mental. I said this on the live stream. Mentally, he was very fragile. There was a time where Buffon caught him crying in the locker room, and he told him, "Listen, you need to be stronger than this." 1 second. Since joining Atletico Madrid, he's not had his best moment. But his wife is from Torino. They met because of Juventus and because of Torino. So he's been pushing for a move back, and now he finally gets it.
Okay.
That's a lot of taking.
All right, let me... Oops.
Breathe for
Had to get...
look,
no, don't
wait
answer,
1
don't.
second.
We're almost done.
No,
Don't put it on
call you
speaker.
later?
Don't put it on speaker.
No,
Okay,
it's
I thought we
listen,
were gonna
guys,
put on
listen. You know, Nicola has been here already with his son. My friend Nicola Cerincione with his son. I'll tell you what, I respect this guy here so much because he understands the game and he will be able... Nicola, I'm speaking for you right now. Morata is going to play big dividends for you guys. First of all, he's younger than Dzeko. Second of all, with his back behind the goal, he's very capable. Morata is going to do the sponta for Ronaldo just to just break in from the middle of the box, or he coming from the left hand side. So this Morata is for me the equivalent of Benzema for Real Madrid when Ronaldo was playing for Real Madrid. I think it's a great sign. And guess what? Who pulled the trigger on this trade? Pirlo. Okay, so you guys, you're gonna be happy that this is happening right now.
He had
Dzeko
5 other options too, though. On top.
doesn't matter. Pirlo knows what's needed on this team. So if Pirlo told Agnelli pull the trigger on Morata, Agnelli did it immediately.
They're former teammates. They played at Juventus together.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll trust Pirlo judgment. Okay. Nicola, if you listen to this podcast, please send us a message or a text because this is. This is like I'm talking about a bunch of rookies over here that don't understand soccer.
I do agree with you. I disagree on the Benzema part, but I do agree that Morata, considering all the circumstances, Dzeko for 17 million plus 7.5 million a season for a
Too much money.
35-year-old striker made no sense to me. Morata on a loan, where in my opinion there's not much risk. There's a 9 million euro risk in a weird market for a player that already understands the Juventus atmosphere, that knows the coach well, that personally played with him. I think Morata makes a lot more sense, and I'm not saying that Morata is a better player than Dzeko. I'm not even comparing the players.
They're different players.
I'm
different
speaking strictly on the deal. That's exactly what I'm speaking of. I think it makes more sense.
Okay,
Peter
one
and
more
Michael.
thing, one more thing, Mike, and then you go.
Yeah.
Morata, normally the way we're talking, like among us, Morata can turn on you on a dime. Okay, Morata when he's with the back behind the goal, and he turns 180, he can burn you.
Like
Morata,
I said,
one-on-one, he can burn you like a.
He's not that
You're like
quick.
he's quick.
Like I said,
He's quick.
he's a guy that has come up. He scored in the Champions League final for Juventus. He scored in the
he scored
semifinal
big
against Real
goals.
Madrid.
Yeah.
The man turns up in big matches.
Yeah,
That's a
he
one thing
does.
that I loved about him.
Okay.
He would not get the fear, but he needs to be a lot. Maturity comes. Certain strikers, they need more time. He needs to be mentally stronger to not get depressed. If he doesn't score a couple goals, you cannot get down on yourself. You need to keep this consistency if you want to play at a top team like Juventus.
Okay, so I just want
That's
to
what I'll
say,
say.
I get what you're saying. At first, when I heard about Morata going, I was like, I don't know if that's a smart deal. I get Dzeko's expensive, but Marco, you even talking about this last podcast, you did say Morata, and I think he's pretty inconsistent at the end of the day. Now, if we take off money off the table and salaries and all this stuff, Peter, I want to ask you, who do you think who would score more goals?
Hands down, Dzeko. He's
Dzeko,
proven.
right?
He's proven to.
Is he
Score
worth the
more
extra
goals.
money though? Being
Well, that's
given his age.
But that's something
the
that
thing.
Juventus has obviously come to the conclusion that they're not willing to spend 17 plus 7 million
Yeah.
for another aging striker.
Uh-huh.
That was the reason why they let go of Higuain. He didn't produce. And in part, I think Juventus are looking at this and saying, is Dzeko going to be the Juventus striker for years to come?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah. Okay. I get that.
They're going to have to look for someone. So in this temporary period, this temporary time, we'd rather go for Morata, where we know him as a player, we know him as a person, we know what he can give, and also surrounded with great talent such as Ronaldo, Dybala. Morata's going to do the dirty work that is needed. But that being said, I've never been a real fan of Morata, but he is a hustler. You have to give him that.
Yeah,
He's the one that's going to chase after
But
every
will
ball
he be the one that changes
the way Pirlo wants.
the game?
Can he change the game? Listen, he's got some skill. Like I said, personally like Dzeko more. I think Dzeko, ball at his feet, he can do whatever he wants, and he can change the game on his head. But Juventus already have two players like that. They have
Dzeko never made any sense for me.
And a Ronaldo.
Dzeko never made
He's gonna
Dzeko
give
never
him
made
more
an
support
ounce.
at Juve than at Roma. He's
Dzeko-
carrying Roma on his back.
Dzeko
and
made
doesn't
no
even
sense,
have as
and I
much
understand what you're trying to
support.
say, Mike. But
Yeah.
money does matter, and
No,
money
no,
counts
yeah,
in
I get
football.
that. I
You
get
can't
that.
you can't discount it.
No,
You
no,
can't say put it
100%.
away. Age does matter.
100%. I just wanna know from that
when you take in the
perspective.
factors, I don't think Dzeko's that much of a better player than Morata either.
I think
don't
he's a
I don't
considerable
agree about
I
it.
disagree.
That's fine. That's
think
fine.
he's a-
Everybody could disagree, but I'm just saying personally, I wasn't crazy about Luis Suarez. I was not crazy about Dzeko. I'm not crazy about Morata, but considering all the circumstances, I'd rather get that, who's a younger player who we don't have much risk, and probably next year Juventus is going to sign Milik on a free transfer because that guy's got
That's
nowhere to
what
go.
I
I think Morata's gonna be cold
Before we
a
go,
lot.
I was just going to say, I think it's more of a temporary move and also shows Juventus' failure to get a number 9.
Great
Yeah,
call.
that's true.
That's the one thing that I really had been saying is that this just showed, and I understand that it's a difficult market. I understand that a lot of the top teams, even big clubs, have been screwing up with COVID and with trying to sell a player and struggling with funds. I understand that, but there's a lack of understanding of a plan from Juventus that's been evident for years, and I think they showed themselves this market again, wasting so much time on a striker who, again, I'll repeat, a midfielder and a fullback would be more important to this Juventus than signing another striker. Before we go on to Vidal, I do want to say I was going through our Instagram looking for like what's lately happened, and there was a quote about Osimhen that I really wanted to read from Gattuso, who said that Osimhen has the head of a 40-year-old on the body of a 21-year-old. That's one. I knew there was something just to give a little sense of his maturity, and he's really adopted the Napoli way, which is a difficult thing I think for a lot of players to come into a new team and really believe in and fall in love with the atmosphere. Napoli obviously helps because it's a great place, but great job by Osimhen, and we hope that continues. Vidal, finally, I never thought it was going to happen because they kept saying 24 hours, 48 hours, this and that. Vidal is officially an Inter player, landed in
Congratulations,
Torino and in Milano.
Marco
Finally,
wanted that, right?
no, I made a mistake. Conte finally gets a guy that he's been begging for a year.
Yeah.
At Inter.
And
Peter,
he's going to bench him.
Peter,
He's gonna bench him.
your
Same way he
thoughts
did it
on
with
Vidal
Eriksen.
joining Inter officially?
This is the player that Conte's been wanting for the past 2 transfer sessions. Last year in the summer and then this
Chelsea.
January. Now he's finally gotten Vidal back. It's a player that knows his style, knows what he wants, is that hustler in the midfield, gets that gritty type of play. Maybe, one good thing that I see out of it is that maybe Vidal replaces Gagliardini in that midfield.
That's the only good thing you see.
That's a big upgrade.
Wait. What do you? A lot of people are saying he's finished. He's old. What do you have to tell those people that are saying
How old is
that?
Vidal?
33, 34, I think.
I think he might be 34 years old. But
What do you think about
why is he
33.
finished and not Ibrahimovic? Ibrahimovic's not
Let
finished
me
at
just
38.
let me just say
So I
something.
think
Let Peter
Yeah, let
finish.
him say it.
He's
I think
33.
Vidal can still contribute to Inter's cause, and he's going to be a great addition. We saw even in
agree.
Barcelona when he played, he
Against
did
Inter in
make
the Champions
make
League?
different. the
What's
difference.
your starting midfield? The 3. So you have a lot of options. Let's
Yeah,
say the options.
a
Let's
lot.
say the options.
Well, right now,
Give me the starter.
if we got the
let's
3,
let's say them all first before you give your 3. Vidal, Eriksen, Barella, Sensi, Brozovic, Nainggolan.
Yeah.
And
6.
I'm not gonna
No, those
include.
are best
I'm
ones.
not gonna
Those
include.
are-
I'm just gonna put those
those-
6.
You're not going to include who?
Gagliardini,
No, I'm not including
Vecino.
Gagliardini.
No,
Vecino's
that's
not there.
All right.
They
Yeah,
let go of
he's still there.
Vecino.
He's
No,
still-
Vecino,
he's
no,
still-
Well, he's not.
there's
He's
no
not part of the
Cavallero, no
plan.
Cavallero.
Okay,
So 6.
Six.
So far.
Those 6. Out of those 6 that I
Who
mentioned.
you going to plug
Who,
in?
who would you
Who
start?
I
Who
start
would you
or-
start the 3, and then who can
No,
you see Conte?
You
start?
Conte right
Conte
now.
is going
Conte
to
without the wing.
Barella, Brozovic, Vidal.
Barella, Brozovic, Vidal.
God.
If you're Peter Couto as a coach, who are the 3 that you would choose?
Well, I consider Eriksen more. Well, if he plays the 3, I like the
You have to stick with the 3-5-2.
3-5-2
You have to.
Because that's what Conte's.
Or 3-4-2-1,
I was
whatever.
gonna do
I don't care.
3-4-1.
Yeah, 3-4.
You have to play with 3 midfielders. You can't count Eriksen anywhere else.
I like
Barella, you're going to put it
Barella's in.
Okay.
I like Barella.
Sensi.
He's going to say Gagliardini.
No, I would say Barella. I would say Eriksen. I like what he can do. And I would say, right now he's still on the team, Brozovic.
So those
So
3.
Vidal doesn't
So
even
now-
Vidal doesn't
Vidal
even
could
come
come
in.
into the game. I want to see more of him,
Wow.
but I would put that right now.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
So
How I like to play.
I'm surprised.
Okay.
This
It doesn't
is
have
to
to
tell
do
you,
anything.
This is the
That's
tell
not
you
gonna
that they
happen,
were
no.
not so high
No.
on Vidal.
No,
This
no.
was
This
only
is
That's
Peter's
on me.
opinion. This is
Oh, okay.
He had for Conte. He had Vidal
I had-
Let
starting.
me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Tell us something.
I think this Vidal is nothing but a little capricious toys that Conte wanted. I said, I want that. I want that. So
No.
here, we got it. Now, let me just let's make sure that this guy plays dividend for you. I got news for you, Pete. As much as I like you as a friend, but as an Inter fan, you guys are making a lot of mistakes. I'll tell you the
What
reasons why.
mistakes?
You guys are playing into the hands of Juventus. You're going to be playing into the hands of AC Milan. You guys are just putting too many eggs into the baskets, okay? So you're going to have too many people sitting on the bench and too many people competing for the same position. You got 6 top midfielders and you can only plug 3 of them inside. Am I right or wrong?
You need a
Because
second team on the bench.
you
You
got
need a
young
second
young
team.
coming down on the
I
left.
That's a wing back.
I can't name one team in Europe who's got a better depth in midfield than Inter.
Than Inter. Of course.
I can't even find something close.
But
I've never
That's
seen.
a-
I don't know if
that's
I've ever
pretty
seen
stacked.
depth like
Pretty
this.
stacked.
I don't think I've ever seen depth
but
like
at
that
the
in
same
midfield.
time,
We're
this
not-
could be a problem.
Let's see their
Marco,
departures
because-
first.
Sometimes
Let's
you
see their
get.
departures
Sometimes
first.
you
We
get.
don't have
Sometimes you
100%.
get 4.
Eriksen, we're not 100% sure if he's going to
He's not going anywhere. He's not going
We'll
anywhere.
see it then. There's still a couple
he was
more
not
weeks.
going anywhere. Sometimes you get 4 really good players and you're like, oh
Yeah, they
damn.
got- they got
I've never
good
seen 6
midfield.
great players, 6 that we're struggling to find out. I think there's an argument for all 6 of those players to be in the starting 11.
100%.
So now my question is,
100%.
how does this play into Conte's got the team that he wants. They signed a lot of more experienced players to try to win now. How do you see ahead of your first match? How do you see this season unfolding for Conte and what it means getting a lot of the things that he was requiring for Inter to get? With Godin, obviously he's on Cagliari now.
Yeah. No, I think he wants the experienced players that know
How to win.
what it is to win something.
Mhm.
Of course.
He said it over and over again, even when Inter got kicked out of the Champions League, where I think it was a test really for his players, but he said, "Who on my team has won before?" Barella's coming from Cagliari. Sensi's coming from Sassuolo.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a clear message to management. And it was a clear message to his players. To
I
say,
got news for you. I got news for you. You just have
gotta
the
speak into
wish.
the mic.
You just have the wish that Barella stays healthy because he's the best midfielder in all Europe
no,
right
I
now.
love Barella.
Would you say that this adds added pressure to Inter from last season, considering the signings that were brought in?
Listen, when you're Inter, you have pressure no matter what. When you're a top team, you have pressure no
Don't go
matter
that
what.
far.
It's
Come
like
on.
a
So you
post-match
have to-
conference over here.
Who the hell do you think
He's
you
taking
are?
notes from
You
Sunday.
have nobody.
You have
You got Inter, you got pressure. Who the hell do you think you are?
Conte knows
that hasn't
already.
always been the storyline,
But
though, with Inter.
Conte knows that he has to win this year.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no if but when. He
100%.
knows he has
last
to go this
last
year.
year, the
win this year.
storyline was it's Juventus.
It's his
They've
first season,
considered,
too.
they've kept winning. They're the winners. We're the guys that are just going to try to compete with them.
But there
now,
was
do you think that
but-
the narrative is
but-
different?
But there was still pressure on Inter to win.
There's still
when
pressure.
Inter didn't,
Sorry.
when Inter lost, everybody was like, "Oh my God,
No, it's
Inter's
true.
not the anti-Juve."
But
Blah,
I
blah,
mean,
blah.
I meant that has the narrative changed at all? That there's pressure to win the league, considering
Favorites.
all the factors that are there. Because, like I said, last year Conte has made it sound like we're the outsiders in the league.
Listen, Juventus still has the same team as last year. Okay, they've made some upgrades even, and at this point, the only difference is Pirlo as the coach.
It's a
Okay?
big
Now it's a big difference.
Big
Before
difference.
Pirlo was the
Big difference.
top coach. Now it's a big difference. But what I'm trying to say is the only problem here, or the narrative changes, is that Conte is the experienced coach that has won Serie A before. He has to make sure that Inter takes Inter to the promised land, which is Scudetto.
One other question, and
Oh my
before
God.
before
Wait,
the
before
question.
you go ahead, go ahead, why you guys are just settling just for the Scudetto? Scudetto,
Why?
look, Juventus, they're tired of winning Scudetto.
answer.
They might let you win. They might,
He's
My-
baiting you. He's
my-
baiting
my-
you
my
right
question-
now.
my question to
go
you
for
is,
the Champions League, Peter.
what-
Listen,
what
you don't win the
happens-
Champions League, you should be really throwing yourself from the Freedom Tower down.
Yeah, okay.
Please.
What-
Not
what
you,
do you-
Conte.
what do you think happens after this season if Inter do not win with Conte?
Sad.
Obviously, the way that it happens matters. What do you think happens for Conte, considering the signings that he's gone, considering what happened beforehand, considering how the season ended? What do you think happens? Before you answer that, September 25th is our new drop for everybody watching the podcast. 12 p.m. Eastern time. We've got all the pictures on the screen right now. There's a mailing list in bio.
And
email
buy
list.
red and black. Buy
You'll-
red and black.
You'll have you'll have 1 hour exclusive to get there. If you text us
Any
at
sale, by the way?
917-905-2169. You will get exclusive offers, exclusive deals, even transfer news when it happens. We wrote today that Morata was signing for
And
Juventus.
if you want to become a
So
member of
text
the
us.
podcast, what do you do?
That's not on the table.
that's not on the
But
table.
Those are all options. So
wanna
again,
become a member.
ItalianFootballTV.com, September 25th. Get there early if you want. A lot of sweatshirts on display, a lot of new designs, a lot of really fun stuff. It's all down on our Instagram, and links are in the description to everything. Peter, what is your answer to my question?
No,
Wow.
if Inter does not win the Scudetto this year, Conte is getting sacked. There's no if, buts, or when.
Who cares
You
about
have-
Conte to begin with?
Well,
you guys.
that was the question.
Me, I care. Keep going. I don't want you to be cut off.
I
Yeah,
want
so-
to piss him off.
He's gotten everything that he's wanted. I mean, every player that has been linked to Inter has arrived.
Except
you
Messi.
know,
That's
but he
Yeah,
never
okay.
Let him
he
keep
was
going.
never
Let
the
him
one
go.
that to
I don't
say
want to
it.
interrupt this.
So at this point, he is the coach that has always been able to prevail in the first couple of years, right? The first year he wins and stuff like that. So
No, go ahead, Pete. No, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys interrupt everybody when they're
I'm
talking.
interrupting anybody.
Yeah, you are. He's in the middle of a thought, and you're telling him to do something.
But nonetheless, like I said, I think even Conte at the same time, if he doesn't win this year, he's gonna want it
Yeah.
out. So at this
Both.
point, both would
Mutually.
would
I think
just
that's
agree
I
to-
think
to
it's a
leave.
fair statement. At this point, I think it's a fair statement. Yeah, because nobody saw that. Because Peter definitely didn't see what was happening. Go for it.
Pete, you won.
Oh, thank you.
Give it to Conte, please.
What is this? The Coppa Italia?
It's more than Milan's gonna win.
No, this mi sembra come un asso di bastoni. I don't know. Yeah, for the people that don't know to play Scopa, it looks like un asso di bastoni. Anyway, you know. No.
What? Anything in regards to what he said about Conte being sacked if he doesn't win the Scudetto?
Listen, nobody's going to cry because Conte was almost out to begin with. Who cares about this Conte? Conte is not a big loss, whether he stays or whether he leaves. I think the Chinese ownership, I got to be honest with you, they show that they have no leadership. Somebody will be cursing me live on primetime TV. I will tell him, hey, you are out and you're not getting any money back into your contract. So the guy disrespected the Chinese ownership. They've been extremely nice to this guy here. And here we are still considering, should be sacked, should not be sacked. For me, Conte can leave at any time. Nobody's going to be crying. Inter's got better option on the market. The fact that they do not want to shame themselves publicly anymore and they want to stop the saga because this is nothing but a saga. It's like a telenovela. Oh, Conte's going to stay. Oh, he's going to be sacked. Oh, did you hear what he said? Oh, no, I did not hear what he said. Oh, but you know what? Oh, they're meeting again. Oh, they're meeting again. So maybe they're making up. It's like kissing, kiss and make up. This is nothing but a disgrace. So the fact that we've been talking about Conte, we make him feel more important than what he actually is. Conte is a punk, okay? What? He's a punk. He's not a good coach. He has never won anything big, never won on the Champions League, never shown leadership inside of the field and outside of the field. So for me, listen to you guys talking about Conte is a waste of time. Can we just quit with this Conte?
Sounds good. That's how we're going to end the show. Guys, in the comment section, if you disagree with Antonio, let us know. If you agree with Peter, let us know. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure September 25th, you're ready for the merch drop. Give a like. Rate the podcast with 5 stars.
Give it 7 stars.
7 stars for the 7 champions.
7 Champions League. Anyway, go ahead. We love you guys. Just move my next time move my teleprompter because I cannot see it, okay? So no jackets over here, no ties. We all love you guys from all over the world. Keep messaging us, right, Mike?
And Forza?
And Forza Milan all the time.
Spezia, let's go.
Okay, now I'm gonna make a few phone calls.